Here with me, Princeton University professor Eddie Glaude and Columbia University professor of practice Basil Smikle. Both are MSNBC political analysts. Eddie, how do you begin to quantify what you see and experience on campus as the benefits of international students in and out of the classroom?
Well, I don't know how to quantify it, Chris, but I do know this, that the objective of a liberal arts education at its best is to create a cosmopolitan subject. Not someone who's content in their own prejudices, not someone who refuses to examine their own blind spots, their own assumptions, but to actually open themselves up to the possibilities that the world presents. And so when you have an environment that is narrow, it actually reproduces provincialism. But if your education aspires to produce a particular kind of person, a particular kind of citizen, not only of the United States, but of the world, then you want them to be expansive in their view. And in order to be expansive, you have to have experiences, right, with folk in the dorm rooms, in the classroom, in the books, in the material that will open your eyes in some ways to the vast diversity of the world.
People say, who go there, Basil, you walk onto Harvard, you hear 15 different languages in a minute. I'm guessing it's very much the same at Columbia. Your school is the most popular of the Ivy Leagues for the F1 visa.
That's right.
And so you've got students from all over the world. How would it change the fabric of your university and your classrooms if that went away?
Quite significantly. First, can we celebrate this moment? Because we are on together in the flesh for the first time in years. So,
and I'm proud it's on this show.
And it's a great conversation to be with my brother talking about this, because I think Eddie's right, that it breaks apart the provincialism. Privilege reproduces itself like no other thing. And when you have diverse groups of people on a college campus, diverse perspectives from diverse countries, ethnicities, races, it really does make you feel that you are not alone in this world, that there is a global audience waiting and available for you. So at Columbia, one of the things that I've had to do is have that extra conversation with the student, because they do have concerns about what it's going to be like, not so much on campus, but what's the atmosphere like in the city and in the country. A lot of you said that Columbia has a very high percentage of international students because they want to be in New York. And I go back to that old Yellow Pages ad. If it's out there, it's in here. That's how I describe New York City.
You're dating yourself.
I know I am, and I do it every day. But this is why folks want to come to college campuses to experience this. And the $44 billion that are spent by students, imagine what happens when 40% of those $1.1 billion decide to stay in the country, and then the economic generator that they become for their cities, states, and the nation.
That's not the way the president sees it, Eddie. He sees this as an effort to keep out the troublemakers. Let me play that.
They're taking people from areas of the world that are very radicalized, and we don't want them making trouble in our country. So I saw yesterday that in the middle of the UK, there was a nice young man. He wants to go back to school at Harvard, and he looked good to me, but I want to check his passport. I want to make sure that the foreign students are people that can love our country. We don't want to see shopping centers exploding.
He looked good to me, but is the president saying the quiet part out loud?
He is, obviously. I mean, we know this word troublemakers for him is often attached to particular bodies, to particular regions, regions that he's okay with accepting an airplane from, though, right. But not necessarily their students. Right? So I think it's really important for us to understand. He also said something out loud as well. Not too long ago, a couple of days ago, he said that with all of these foreign students being admitted to places like Harvard, there are no seats left for Americans. And you combine that with the critique of race-based admissions. This is about, really, these institutions, Chris, trying to build a student body that reflects not only the diversity of the country, but the diversity of the world. And Trump stoking a particular kind of grievance because people like him, their children can't seem to get into Harvard like they used to. They can't get into the Columbias and the Princetons like they used to. They're having difficulty getting into the Lehighs and the Williams like they used to. They believe they possess these institutions. And so, by virtue of their particular positions of power, they are trying to, in some ways, capture them once again.
It's a really important point, because what he's saying is that education is being commodified. and you should get it only at certain price points. And if you look at the history of our country, whether you're talking about in 1819 Dartmouth's case against with the Supreme Court that it established the independence of universities, created the kind of philanthropic system we see today. The Morrill Act in 1862, which established a lot of state universities and some HBCUs. The GI Bill, affirmative action, Title IX, Brown versus Board of Ed. There's been a 200-year history of this country saying that we need to make education more accessible to Americans. And what we see in this administration, if you also include taking money away from museums, taking money away from other cultural institutions, it's their interest in creating education and knowledge to a very small segment of the population.
I think there is also, it's the place, right? It's the place and how much you develop as a human, intellectually, but also socially. And how many people have you heard say over the years, those are the best years of my life.
Right.
But if now somebody was at Columbia and they felt like, oh, maybe now I need to transfer to Harvard or vice versa or something like that, or any of the other places, any of the other Ivies. The deadline for most of them was back in March. And the stress that students are feeling, well, let me play a little bit of what we've heard from them.
I haven't had the time yet to think about my backup plans, but as of now, I don't think anyone is sure if they can return for their fall semester back into Harvard and more broadly back into the U.S. It's really unfortunate that thousands of international students who have come, again, so many miles away from their own respective countries and don't have any family in the U.S. happen to face the need to face all of these issues on their own.
The stress on students, are you seeing it? Are you having conversations?
I've been teaching for close to 30 years. And to be honest with you, I've never seen the level of anxiety among students. You can have students who are about to graduate and their parents can't come see them, or they were worried about if they come, will they be able to, what will happen? Right. There is deep uncertainty, and one could even say that that uncertainty generates a sense of panic and terror in how they inhabit the space. It impacts the way they complete their assignments. It impacts the way they sit in our offices, right? I remember a student saying to me just recently, I can't finish my thesis. And usually I go, oh, here comes the hustle, right? When in fact, she said, because I'm worried I don't have anywhere, I don't know what is going to happen. Right? And so you can imagine these students trying to, it's already a pressure-packed environment.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to complete those assignments, trying to get to the end with all of this hovering over their heads.
Right.
Last word quickly.
No, just to say, the president might want to just say and point his finger at elite institutions. This is coming for everybody. Mm-hmm. And we need to be very clear about that. It's not just the Harvards, the Yales, the Princetons of Columbia. This will trickle down, and it will have a massive impact on reshaping higher education specifically and education broadly in this country.
Absolutely.